reporter said sometimes, it's like the worst thing you could say about a professional jock in any sport.
Is that?
They quit.
And?
The Orlando Magic quit.
Well, you said it. You were very careful.
Let me tell you something. Because, Ernie, that was one of the least inspired. Like, I understand why it's happening, but you're disappointed as a person who likes sports that you should just try to compete. And tonight, they're in such a mental fog, and Dwight Howard is in a mental fog.
So how much of this, how do you connect what happened at shoot-around today when Stan Van Gundy said, yeah, somebody in management told me that Dwight Howard wants me out.
100%.
And the bad back has nothing to do with Dwight's performance.
No, it has nothing to do with it.
This was all tied into the whole thing.
Tied into it, hog-tied. Well, I agree with Chuck, because we're very careful of saying guys quit because you've been an athlete and you know. But I can point to this. Your post position was not on the box. You didn't sprint back on defense. You didn't. You're laughing and joking on the bench, waving to the Knicks fans to give it to you. I can point to film and tell you, pick and roll. The screen wasn't set. There was space in between. Jameer Nelson came off, so did the defender. I can point to all of the film that let you know that you didn't compete tonight. And you did not compete, so I'm not going to get in your head and say, oh, you don't have heart or you don't know. But you did not compete because the things that you can see consistent was there, and I agree with Chuck. It was 100% because of what happened tonight.
Footnote to the story before I get to you. David Aldridge reported earlier in the night, too, that Stan Van Gundy had told them in meetings before the game that he's known all year long, not just right now, known all year long that Dwight Howard wanted him out as the head coach. Now you can follow on this quitting on this one tonight, thought by Charles and Kenny.
Well, this is a proven fact and a proven quote by Dr. O'Neill. People do not give their best to leaders they like the least. Period. If Stan was a great leader...
You're saying that's okay?
Oh, well, no.
Are you saying that's
not okay? No, not okay. But as a leader, you have to motivate your followers somehow. If that was me in the situation, I would have brought Dwight downstairs and okay, what am I doing wrong? We only got a couple months left. What can we do to rectify this situation? What am I doing? And Dwight is the top player. He has to be real and say what's on his mind, because I've had many intricate conversations with great coaches and non-great coaches. I say how I feel with me being the leader, and then you say how you feel, and then we work through the problem. The way this was done was very unprofessional by both parties.
This is hard to do, but try to do it in 30 seconds. Liken this situation with Stan Van Gundy and Dwight to you and Stan Van Gundy in Miami.
I'm not going to divulge certain information, but Pat Riley, the great motivator, the great coach that he is, he knew that we were not responding. So what did he do? Because of his resume, he stepped up, and he knew that we would respect him, and the result of that, we won a championship.
That's not a championship team to step down to. But let me tell you something. There should be something. They've got to have a team meeting tonight. And Stan has to be included. If Stan has to be included, but in my honest opinion, I like Stan Van Gundy. I think he's a very good coach. But he can't get that team back. And he's got a snitch upstairs who is relaying private conversations between Dwight Howard and management. This thing is over right now.
It's probably not over. We'll talk about it more later. But we have another game to get to: the Boston Celtics and the Chicago Bulls. Let's get to the